Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review in partnership with TressAllure. This is Blaze in the color Dark Amber HL. Blaze. Look at her. Beautiful long piece. I think this could be some great holiday hair because there is so much you can do with this one. So many styling options. If you want to know more about Blaze, then stick around and I will tell you all about her. I want to thank TressAllure for giving me the opportunity to try Blaze and share her with all of you. I am just thrilled with this one. It is a regular synthetic and looks cute any way you want to wear her. So we're going to talk a little bit about styling options later on in this video, but for now, let's take a look at her from all sides. What a fantastic length for styling, and these long layers, there's just layers upon layers, which makes it so incredibly flattering. So many options with this one, which I can't wait to talk about. Now, Blaze is what I would consider a moderate density piece. Now, I can make this look like a lot of hair, but really when you think about, because of how they put the layers in here, the ends here are really natural. It's got a really natural density toward the end. One of the things that make this look maybe like more hair than maybe it is the Permatease. So while this is more of a moderate density, it does have Permatease, and that gives this wig some volume and fullness that maybe mimics a higher density of hair. So the Permatease is all throughout here. So this wig is actually a mono top wig, meaning this whole top section is monofilament. I'll show that to you when I take it off. That means you can part it anywhere you want. But beyond the monofilament, all of the cap, all the way around, has a coating of Permatease. You can feel it when you put your hands into it. I feel Permatease. I don't necessarily feel straight down to cap. Now, this is not the heaviest Permatease I've ever had. It's definitely more than a light coating, but it's not super, super pillowy. What it does is it gives this hair sort of a bombshell appearance. You know, it looks like you got a blowout, took maybe a round brush to get some volume and some lift all around. It really helps so this doesn't fall flat and look really lifeless. But for my wig sisters who shy away from Permatease, one of the good things about how they did this was that it's not all poofy and pillowy up here. The volume is more around here, which amps up the style. So I definitely think it is well done. But if you like low density, no Permatease pieces, this one isn't going to be for you. Now, like I said before, these are regular synthetic fibers. They are not heat friendly. And I would consider these a little bit on the drier side. So as synthetic fibers go, there is a spectrum for how they feel. Sometimes they're incredibly soft and silky, and sometimes when they're really silky, they can be quite shiny and sometimes not look super realistic. Then you've got fibers on the other end of the spectrum that are super, super dry, almost too dry, and they're very, they don't look as realistic either. I think this one falls really perfectly in the middle. They are a little bit on the drier side, so when you touch them, they definitely feel a little bit drier. And I would say because they're on the drier side, there is a little bit of tangling that happens with this piece. You are going to deal with tangling. Let me grab my wide tooth comb here. You are going to deal with tangling in any synthetic piece that is probably below chin length, shoulder length. Any piece that rubs on your clothing and is synthetic is going to tangle. The question really is, how badly does it tangle? I would say that this one, I do have to take a wide tooth comb to it regularly to make sure, especially at the links down here, that I'm getting out those tangles. But you can see it's not too bad. I'm not having a lot of trouble combing through this. I have had wigs that tangled much worse than this one. But if you are going to be wearing long synthetics, I recommend you carry a wide tooth comb with you. Anything. This one's great because it fits in your purse, but you can use one with a handle. Just anything with a wide tooth comb is going to be really gentle on your synthetics. And you'll want to comb through this, I would say, probably every hour if you're going to be wearing it for any length of time. That will keep these fibers nice, keep them from getting all snarled and tangled, and I don't think it'll be that hard to maintain. Let's talk about the cap features on this one. So this one has a lace front and a mono top. I will take it off and show that to you, but let's look at this lace front because it is stunning. There you go. It's so good, you guys. This is a really fabulous lace front. Now, how a lace front will look depends just a little bit on the color of the hair. So if you are someone who wears really dark brunettes and you don't really like any highlighting, then you're going to maybe see those knots a little bit better than someone who wears blondes or light colored wigs or have a highlighted piece like this one, because they took all of these. That is part of this color, is the super bright highlight. That's the HL in the color, dark amber HL. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But they brought those to the front so you really don't see knotting because all those light fibers really blend right into the scalp. So I would say this is one of the better lace fronts I've seen, but it may look a little different if you get a darker color. And then you can part it anywhere you want on the top. Let's see if I can find my comb again. And I can demonstrate for you. So this one I've got just off center, but you can choose to part it more extreme on one side or the other. And they did such a good job with this one of making it look so realistic. Oh my gosh. I am absolutely thrilled with the parting on this one. I think it looks fabulous. Let's talk about the cap construction, since I can't go without showing you inside the cap. So this is what I mean by a full mono top. All of the top here is monofilament. You can see right through to scalp, makes it look really realistic. You can part it anywhere. Lace front. This line right here is really common on full monotop wigs. It's a seam that blends together the monofilament and the lace because they're not exactly the same material. I'm not having a real problem with this seam. I don't think you can see it super well. They definitely pushed it a little further back. But if you get a wig like this and you can see the seam on the part and it bothers you, just a little bit of face powder. Just dab it on with a makeup brush. It will blur that seam and help it to blend. Soft ear tabs with the bendable stays in it, the metal stays. No extended nape. Velcro adjusters. You can see I have these adjusters cinched in. We're going to talk about fit on this one because this one's running just a little bit big. So TressAllure normally runs relatively true to average, although every now and then I do notice that their caps might run a little bit larger than average. This one is definitely running a little bit larger than average. So I have a 22-inch circumference and I have this cinched in quite a bit. I really think this is going to fit 22.5 very comfortably. There is a lot of stretch on this, a lot of stretch, which tells me it's going to fit even bigger than that. So if you had a 23-inch circumference and maybe you see your wigs being just a little bit snug on you, I think this would be fine because I have it cinched in and it has a ton of stretch. But keep in mind, wig fit is not just about circumference. So a lot of people always reach out to me and say, do you think this wig will fit me? I have an X circumference. The rest of your measurements do matter because that will also impact cap fit. So your front to back, your ear to ear, that all is important. I do include all of my measurements in the description below this video so you can go compare your measurements to mine. I do get quite a bit of gapping up here. Look at how much extra cap I have, you guys, a lot. Part of that is this is so stretchy that I can really pull it, but part of it is this cap is running big. So I would consider this big head friendly, and definitely think average large should be able to wear this. This wig is definitely tuckable. Now, sometimes with a wig that has permatease around the sides, if the permatease is really heavy around the ear tabs, it can make it challenging to tuck, but I'm having no trouble tucking this one. I think this looks so incredibly realistic. I really do. I love the face framing layers. They just did such a good job making this really flattering with all of the layers. And if you are a bang wearer, let me grab my comb again. If you wear bangs and you want to cut bangs into this, no problem. Look at that. If you happen to get one that has more of a cowlick in the front that gives the front some lift, you can always take gentle heat to flatten that out. I do show how to do that with a regular synthetic wig on YouTube. I will try to link that video in the description. I show you how to manage cutting more bangs into wigs, so you can, but keep in mind that this is not heat friendly, so you want to be very careful with that. But if you wear bangs, want to cut a bang in, no problem at all. Okay, let's talk about color. Dark Amber HL. So this color is so stunning. So the HL in the name stands for highlight. So when you get a color from TressAllure that has an HL, it means there's visible highlights. And you can definitely see that on this one. Now I have Charlotte by TressAllure in this color, and it presents very differently because it's a short curly piece. And so just know that color may look different from piece to piece depending on the cut and the style and how all of the highlights are placed, which can make a difference. Now this one has a very soft root. Very soft root. You can barely tell that this is even rooted. I really have to like separate the hair out to be able to tell. It's a very soft root, not extreme at all, not super dark. So if you struggle with rooted pieces because you don't think they look natural, or you come from the generation where women didn't show their roots, I don't know that this one will be a problem for you. It really is very subtle. And now the overall tone in this one is an auburn, kind of a reddish brown. It's a medium to light reddish brown. And then you've got some light red highlights running through it, and then these pale, almost platinum. They call them pale champagne highlights, but in some lighting, they almost look gray. They're very pale, very bright, and a huge contrast to the rest of this color, as you can tell. Honestly, it's so fun. And in some wigs, these are often known as money pieces. They're not often this bright or light compared to the rest of the hair. So it definitely adds a fun fashion component. Now, these pale champagne highlights are very much concentrated in the front, but there are a few, like here's one right here. There are a few that sort of escape into the rest of the wig, like right there. But you don't really have much in the way of that in the back. Every now and then, depending on how you brush the hair, if you take some of these front pieces and you kind of brush them back, then those highlights will escape toward the back. But for the most part, they're concentrated to the front. And then you've got this just gorgeous, beautiful reddish brown. It's almost like a blend of light brown, medium brown, and then red. Auburn red to sort of to really make it interesting. This isn't a super red wig. It's not a super bold wig. It's just really beautiful. I would say if you typically wear, and then you can kind of see some of those other highlights up here. So it's definitely a highlighted piece. So to sum up the inside color, I would say if you like sort of medium brunette, but you like some lighter tones in there, you really like fun surprises in your hair color, then Dark Amber HL could be a great piece to try. How much of the highlight is up front will definitely vary from piece to piece, from style to style. I did not notice as heavy of a highlighting up here on my Charlotte as I do on this one. Part of that could be because of the curl on Charlotte and how short it is. I have a piece flying in my face. So just keep that in mind, that that can be a variation in the color. Let's get outside so that you can see this color outside, and then I'm going to tack on a bonus styling segment at the end so you can see an idea for styling. All right, everyone, we are outside with Dark Amber HL. It's misting out here right now. Ah, there goes my dog. Sorry, you guys. Oh well. It's actually a little snowflakes. Oh my goodness. You can see what I mean. It's rooted, but it's not really rooted. It's just, they did such a good, subtle job of that. And then there's that bright color. Okay, hopefully you got it. Beautiful, beautiful color. Okay, everybody, let's do a little bit of styling. I have a full review of this TressAllure wig wax spray on my YouTube channel. I will link that review in the description of this video. I show you how to use it on a bunch of different styles. I love this stuff. It is my favorite spray styling spray. It's just magic. It works super well. It gives lift, but it doesn't add tons of buildup. You can't feel it on the fibers. You can still comb through the fibers. It's just wonderful. So let me just give you an example. So let's just say you have a wig and you need to get a little bit of lift in the front, but you don't really want to take heat to it. You just want to try to get just a little bit of lift. So let's just spray a little bit of this spray, and then I like to hold it so that it can sort of dry in that position. If you wanted to hit it with like a hair dryer on cool even, that could work really well. But then, look at that. This side, this side. It's just amazing. I love this styling spray so much. So let's say you wanted to get some lift a little further back. You could take and you could spray back here. You don't have to use a ton of it. And then, you know, I just want to make sure that it dries. And then, look at that. So if you're struggling with a wig and you want some lift or you want some volume. Now, for a wig that's low density with no Permatease, there's only so much volume you can get. But I don't rave about a lot of styling products for wigs because I'm not a fan of adding a lot of things to my wigs. I don't want to make them dirty faster because we want to try to wash them as little as possible. But when it comes to this wig wax, I just love it. Not only that, it doesn't make it sticky. Now there's little snarls down here, not because of the wig wax, but because of the long wig. I can totally comb through it and get it right back to where it was. But if I wanted to add that and then just have the style stay that way, just don't run a comb through it. And I can get it back just by doing that. You can also help to reactivate it with water. It's just fabulous, you guys. So I highly recommend it. I will link it in the description so that you can easily find it. Now let's talk about styling, because I mentioned that this could be such a great wig for styling if you want to, you know, like do some fancy holiday hair. I mean, the length of this, the fact that it's, you know, straight, but it has layers. I mean, you can do half up, half down, and then leave these awesome money pieces down so you can really see them. Or you get a different color that doesn't have the money pieces. Something I really love to do with long wigs that have layers is I love to put them in like kind of a messy updo with a claw clip. I have many videos showing you guys how to make wigs look realistic in an updo. This is just to give you some ideas, but not a tutorial. If you need a tutorial I will link those videos in the description, because not only do I show you how to put them in updos, but I show you how to cut in just little tiny wispies for face framing on the sides and in the back. That will really help make a wig look more realistic. So first of all, you can just do a ponytail with this one. You obviously want to make sure you pull it down in the back, disguise your bio hair. But one of my favorite things to do is you take it like you're going to put it in a pony, and then you just do a twist. So I just twisted it. And then any claw clip will do. You stick the claw clip in to secure it, and then you kind of arrange the rest of the hair so that it sort of cascades down in the back. And with the wig wax, you could utilize it to help try to keep some hairs in place even. So I can pull some forward. Oh, delivery coming, my dogs are barking. And if you wanted less hair, you just roll more of it up in the back. So easy. Now, I didn't bother to see if my own hair is blending there or in the back. That's all stuff that you'll want to handle. But if you're looking for a style that's super versatile, I think Blaze is really great. And even if you don't wear long styles very often, I don't, but I do like to wear wigs and updos a lot. This could be a good one for that as well. Don't forget the wig wax. It's awesome. Thanks for watching, guys.